What if the most powerful book on strategy ever written was not about fighting, but about not fighting? 2,500 years ago, a Chinese general named Sun Tzu wrote a short military manual. It contains only 13 chapters. Yet today, it sits on the desks of CEOs, generals, coaches, politicians, and anyone who understands that real power is rarely loud. This is The Art of War, not a book about violence, a book about victory through intelligence, preparation, and psychological mastery. In the next 15 minutes, we will break down its most important principles and show why they remain dangerously relevant in the 21st century. Sun Tzu lived during China's Warring States period, a time of constant conflict, shifting alliances, and ruthless competition for survival. His book was never meant to be poetry. It was a practical operating system for winning under pressure. The core idea is simple but radical. The greatest victory is the one you achieve without ever fighting. Sun Tzu believed that war is expensive, unpredictable, and destructive. Therefore, the wise commander wins by strategy, positioning, and deception long before swords are drawn. This mindset is why the art of war moved far beyond the battlefield. It became a manual for leadership, negotiation, competition, and self-mastery. One of the most quoted lines in the entire book is also the most important. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. This is not motivational advice. It is a diagnostic tool. Most people fail because they overestimate their own strengths and underestimate the other side's capabilities, motives, and constraints. Sun Tzu demands radical honesty. What are your real resources? Where are you weak? What does the other side actually want? Not what they say they want. In business, this means understanding your competitor's cost structure, culture, and blind spots. In life, it means understanding your own emotional patterns before you enter any high-stakes situation. Self-knowledge plus accurate intelligence about the other side creates almost unbeatable positioning. Sun Tzu is blunt. All warfare is based on deception. When you are strong, appear weak. When you are weak, appear strong. When you are near, make the enemy believe you are far. When you are far, make them believe you are near. The goal is not lies for the sake of lying. The goal is to control the other side's perception so they make decisions that favor you. This principle appears everywhere once you start looking. In negotiation, the person who appears least desperate often holds the most power. In competition, the company that seems uninterested in a market can quietly dominate it. In personal conflict, emotional reactivity is often a form of transparency that the skilled opponent will exploit. Deception here means strategic ambiguity, giving away only what serves your larger plan. Sun Tzu's highest form of warfare is to defeat the enemy's strategy before the battle begins. He ranks outcomes clearly. The best is to attack the enemy's plans. Next is to attack their alliances. Next is to attack their army. The worst is to besiege walled cities. In modern language, change the game so the other side cannot play the game they prepared for. This is why preparation and positioning matter more than dramatic action. The general who arrives first and chooses the terrain forces the opponent to fight on unfavorable terms. The leader who controls the narrative forces others to react instead of act. Energy spent on direct confrontation is usually wasted energy. Energy spent on shaping the environment is multiplied. Sun Tzu lists 5 constant factors that determine victory. The moral law, whether the people are in harmony with their leader. Heaven, timing, weather, seasons, larger cycles. Earth, terrain, distance, danger, and advantage. The commander, wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, and strictness. Method and discipline. Organization, supply chains, and clear systems. Notice that raw force is not on the list. A brilliant plan executed by a distrusted leader still fails. Perfect timing on the wrong terrain still fails. Excellent resources with no discipline still fail. Sun Tzu also insists on adaptability. No plan survives contact with reality unchanged. The skilled commander adjusts constantly while never losing sight of the larger objective. Rigidity is death. Flexibility within a clear strategy is power. You do not need an army to use the art of war. Every competitive environment contains the same elements Sun Tzu described: limited resources, incomplete information, opposing wills, and the high cost of direct conflict. The book teaches you to gather accurate intelligence before you move, conserve energy, shape the conditions instead of reacting to them, prefer psychological and structural advantage over brute force, remain adaptable without becoming directionless. These are not ancient curiosities. They are operating principles for anyone who wants to win more by fighting less. The art of war is short. Its ideas are not. Read it slowly. Return to it when you face real pressure. Ask yourself, in any difficult situation, where is the high ground? What does the other side believe is true? How can this be resolved with the least force necessary? That is the real art. Not domination. Mastery.